Have you ever stopped to think that maybe the way we talk about global superpowers,
Hmm.
well, that it might be based on a fundamental misunderstanding?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if one of the biggest players on the world stage, China, isn't actually chasing what everyone assumes it is?
That's a provocative start.
Today, we're looking into some really eye-opening insights from George Yeo, Singapore's former foreign minister. He offers a pretty powerful reality check on U.S.-China relations.
Yeah, it's a fascinating perspective. Yeo basically argues the U.S. has just fundamentally misunderstood China's ambitions. This idea that Beijing wants global
That's
domination.
right.
He suggests their focus is actually quite different. And this misunderstanding, it potentially reveals how fragile America's own position might be in some situations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And look, if you want more analysis like this, the kind that really challenges assumptions and offers unique geopolitical insights, make sure you subscribe to the Geopolitics Gazette right after this delve. Okay, so let's unpack this. If China isn't aiming for global hegemony, what, according to Yeo, are they actually focused on? What are their real priorities?
Well, Yeo puts it quite bluntly. He says China sees aspiring to be a global hegemon as so unwise. Unlike the U.S. maybe sending carriers across the globe.
Okay.
China's view, as he frames it, is more like, look, I've got enough problems here at home. You've got yours. If you need help, maybe I can help. But good luck to you and wish me luck with my own stuff.
So much more internally focused.
Very much so. Historically speaking, think about it lifting hundreds of millions from poverty, dealing with massive social changes, building up their own tech. That's been the game.
Yeah.
It's less about conquering territory and more about, survival and strengthening from within. Preparing, not necessarily expanding in the way the West thinks about it.
That's a key point.
Yeah.
But what about things like the Belt and Road Initiative?
Yeah.
Or their increased role in, global bodies? Some people see that and think, well, that looks like influence, maybe even expansion.
That's a fair question. And Yeo doesn't suggest China has no global presence. The argument is more about the why. Is it about imposing a new world order? Or is it about securing China's own economic future, building partnerships for its own benefit?
I see. Different motivation.
Exactly. It's more about influence through partnership, not direct control. And this leads right into that core U.S. misunderstanding Yeo talks about.
Okay, so let's go there. Where does this clash happen? You mentioned Yeo observed U.S. officials maybe not engaging effectively.
Yeah, he pointed out something quite specific. Apparently, U.S. officials sometimes avoid attending Chinese peace conferences. Why? Fear of criticism back home?
Really?
Yeah. And his point is that's a huge disadvantage because, even if you see China as an opponent, an enemy even, you have to understand them. You need to know your interlocutor.
And of course, know your adversary.
But here's the flip side. Yeo suggests China understands the U.S. much, much better than the U.S. understands China. And that asymmetry, it makes finding those win-win solutions way harder. It pushes things towards confrontation.
Which brings us to, inevitably, Taiwan. What does this perspective mean for that flashpoint? If conflict broke out.
Yeah.
Yale mentioned TSMC, the chip maker.
Right. TSMC would almost certainly be, destroyed in a conflict scenario. That's the expectation.
A catastrophe for the global economy.
Absolutely. But here's the stark difference Yeo highlights. China, he argues, could probably cope without TSMC. Maybe not perfectly, but they could manage maybe 70–80% capacity. The U.S. and Europe, they simply couldn't. Their tech sectors would seize up.
Wow. And the military side.
That adds another layer. Geography is just massively in China's favor in a Taiwan scenario. Think about it. U.S. supply lines stretch thousands of miles.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, China's got long-range hypersonic missiles that could potentially keep U.S. carriers the main power projection tools far away. Even bases like Guam might be vulnerable.
So it's about deterrence through strength.
It seems so. It's not necessarily aggressive posturing, but preparedness. It really echoes that old Sun Tzu wisdom, doesn't it? If you assume the enemy will attack, he might not because he knows you're ready. But if you assume he won't attack, that's when you're vulnerable. Understanding that preparedness is crucial.
We're really getting into some vital perspectives today, perspectives that could genuinely reshape how you see global power dynamics. If this is hitting home for you, make sure you hit subscribe to the Geopolitics Gazette right now so you don't miss what's next.
And there's another piece to this puzzle. Beyond the purely military, China's trump card, as some call it, rare earths.
Ah, yes. Critical minerals.
Exactly. Absolutely essential for so much advanced tech, especially defense systems.
Wow.
Think F-35 jets, bunker-busting bombs, sophisticated missiles.
All rely on them.
And China. They basically control a huge chunk of the global production. That gives them enormous economic leverage. It's a potential chokehold, really.
That's a powerful lever to have. And it really contrasts with something else.
Mm-hmm.
Yale implies the, let's say, inconsistency sometimes in U.S. policy.
Definitely. U.S. policy can shift quite significantly every 4 or 8 years with new administrations, right? On trade, climate, alliances.
We've seen that pendulum swing.
Whereas China tends to play the long game. They have these multi-decade strategic plans, a much more consistent trajectory.
So just to sort of wrap up the core idea here.
Yeah, I think the main takeaway from Yeo's perspective is that China's rise is really deeply rooted in its own internal logic development, self-preservation, making sure its own system thrives on its own terms. It's not really about imposing a Western-style global dominance.
Which leaves us with a pretty big question, doesn't it? Can the U.S. and its allies actually accept a world where China rises based on its model, not the Western one?
Yeah.
Or is this fundamental misunderstanding Yeo talks about going to keep fueling tension, maybe even conflict?
It's the central question, really.
What stands out to you from all this? We genuinely want to know your perspective. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this analysis useful, give us a like. And most importantly, make sure you are subscribed to the Geopolitics Gazette for more crucial insights and delves like this one.